Newmar's been dipping their toes into the Super C world. For years, they've been watching, learning, figuring out what works and maybe what doesn't work. And now they've jumped with both feet in. This new Superstar is really their answer to everything that the market's been missing, and it really shows. I'm Ben with IWS, and today I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the all-new 2026 Newmar Superstar. We're going to give you everything you need to know about the 2026 Superstar right up at the front of the video. And then if you're a fan of IWS, you know that we go way in depth and we go super long. So we're going to give you everything up at the front. And then if you're still interested, check out the chapters below that Tim's left in the description. And then you can skip ahead to the parts that maybe you really want to know, but you're going to know everything right up at the front of the video. For 2026, the Superstar has 7 different floor plans to choose from, anywhere from 37 feet to 41 feet. Here behind me today, I'm featuring the 4159 floor plan, which is 41 foot overall. All Superstars are single rear axles, so there's no tandem axle available. There's 2 different chassis to choose from when you're picking a Superstar out. You have the Freightliner M2 106 with the Cummins L9 engine, 360 horsepower, 1150 foot-pounds of torque. Or you can get the high performance variant of that L9 engine with the M2 112 Plus chassis, which I have behind me here in this Superstar. That gets you 450 horsepower, so almost 100 horsepower more, and you still get 1150 foot-pounds of torque. More on that a little bit later. There's over 65 different options you can pick on a Newmar Superstar. This one behind me has over $65,000 worth of options. The Superstar starts at $501,000 MSRP with the 37-foot variant. This model behind me, we've picked almost every option possible. There's $65,000 in options. And with the upgraded chassis, this one is $620,000 MSRP. Some of the important options that you want to know about for 2026 model year include the Onyx Blackout package that I'm demonstrating on this coach today. We also have an upgraded lithium battery system from 640 amp hours to all the way up to 960 amp hours. There's upgraded solar options. There's over 14 different cabinet configurations, electric heated tile flooring. There's 360-degree camera systems. Starlink is now available with a high-performance mount. At IWS, we really know Super Cs. It's our whole world. And we really wanted to set the tone with the 2026 Superstar. We've taken all of our years of experience and combined it into this build. You can tell just by the looks of it, this looks like an IWS spec coach. If you're looking for that Newmar quality, but you're looking to eat miles in between the racetrack, national parks, and I don't know, just your next campsite, this is the coach for you, hands down. I know that went quick, but hopefully you got everything you need to know in a quick snapshot about the Superstar lineup. There's tons more to share, so let's go ahead and look at the in-depth walkthrough of this thing, and remember the chapters below. A little background on who Newmar is, because if you're watching this, you may be looking at other competition, right? There's Jayco, there's Renegade, there's Dynamax. There's a lot of Super C manufacturers out there. So where does Newmar set itself in this industry? Well, first, I think you got to go back, and Newmar has been building their brand and their legacy centered around the Class A bus world. And I can tell you they build some of the best Class A motor coaches in the entire world. They are absolutely immaculate. They've been around since 1960. They in fact invented the slide out. So I think just from an innovation standpoint, they're second to none. And I've mentioned briefly that, you know, they've dipped their toe in the Super C world. Well, what I really mean by that is they've only been building the Super C for about 4 to 5 years now. So there's been, you know, this trajectory of learning of like what our Super C world's all about. But what they've done is they've taken everything that we love about the Class A world, some of the interior amenities, the storage options that they offer, and then just the customer lifestyle that people are looking for out of a bus. They brought that to the Super C world, which has been missing for years. I think another key reason to choose Newmar is their customer service is world class. I will just go out on a limb and tell you that there is not another manufacturer out there that offers better customer service than Newmar. We'll go inside the coach and show you some of the things that they offer from a service standpoint, but I'm telling you, the customer experience and the support that you get after really well aligns with us at IWS. You can rest assured that when you're going to spend $600,000, $800,000 on a motor coach, that you're going to get great service after the fact. So if you're really interested in a Super C motor coach, it's because of the chassis. So I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about this chassis because it's really the ethos of a Super C. This particular coach we've spec'd with the Freightliner M2 112 chassis. When I want to talk about what those mean. So there's the M2 106 and the M2 112. The 112 stands for the distance between the back of the cab to the front of the hood. And that's why this coach is 41 foot overall, is because it's 10 inches longer than a traditional M2 106. And I want to tell you that because it's really easy to say, oh, I have an M2 chassis. Well, depending on if you have a 106 or a 112, depends on what engine you have and what your horsepower and torque rating is. With the 112, we are able to take the Cummins L9 engine and we get larger radiators. There's actually a second radiator, more cooling, and that goes from 360 horsepower to 450. So that's why I'm telling you that you got to look at your specs. An M2 106 literally cannot get this horsepower rating with the same engine. Quick education piece, important for you to know, the M2 112 is only available in the Superstar with the 40-foot floor plan variant. So there's 3 different ones that you can choose from with the M2 112. Anything shorter, like the 37-foot variants, you will build on the M2 106 chassis. We've mated this Cummins L9 engine with the Allison 6-speed automatic transmission, the 3200 series transmission. That's been an excellent transmission for us, bulletproof, has an excellent warranty, 5 years, unlimited miles. Allison stands behind those things. I want to talk about towing with the Superstar because it's really confusing out there. In this class, there's M2 106s, there's M2 112s, and towing ratings can be all over the board. And carrying capacities can be all over the board. So we're going to go ahead and nerd out for a second and talk about why the Superstar is the best version of the M2 that you can get. Let's just go with the easy numbers. This is a 20,000 pound towing capacity, and that is really limited because of the single rear axle. If we put a tandem rear axle under this coach, we could tow more. However, when you go tandem axle, we obviously lose some things like storage space, turning ability, etc. So that's why this is a great option for those of you that don't need to tow more than 20,000 pounds. When we say it can tow 20,000 pounds, you're also trying to determine how well does it tow those 20,000 pounds, right? How quickly can I get up a hill? How does it handle going down a hill? How does it brake well? And I can tell you that this thing is built to do that. There's other manufacturers that say they can tow 20,000 pounds, but they just don't have the axle ratings behind it. They don't have the right brake specs. They might not have the same engine, etc. So you got to really watch your specs. The axle ratings on this is why I feel so confident in its ability to tow, let alone the Cummins L9 engine. This is a 43,000 pound gross vehicle weight rated vehicle. So that means this thing is designed to haul 43,000 pounds. And we get that number based off of the front axle rating plus the rear axle weight rating. Starting with the front, it's an 18,000 pound front axle. And the rear axle is a 24,000 pound. Add those up, you get 43,000. The vehicle weighs, I just scaled it, just under 35,000 pounds. So put that in perspective, I have 8,000 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. So I could literally put a full-size F-250 inside of this and it would be just fine. A lot of manufacturers don't like to post that. They don't like to tell you that. Newmar's proud to show you that. Many manufacturers use a 14,000 pound front axle on an M2, and they use like a 20 to 21,000 pound rear axle. Manufacturers put those lighter weight ratings because it's cheaper, and they're also using lighter materials because they're cheap. With Newmar, they're using real wood all throughout the coach. They're using Corian countertops, nicer furniture, and then they know you want to be able to tow 20,000 pounds, so that's why they spec it the way that they do. If you're interested in a Super C motor coach, part of it is the look, right? You like what the truck has to offer. It's got to look badass, and that's what the Superstar really is this thing looks badass. Newmar also pays a great amount of detail towards the styling bits that other manufacturers just don't pay attention to. Let me point out some of these things. Number one is you can see the fenders have a fiberglass flare to them. This is not a standard fender flare. Looking at the top of the coach, their aero cap I think is one of the best designs in the industry. It's formed, it has lines to it. It also has that beautiful glass view in front of it. Moving to the top of a Newmar Super C, you can see that the awning is integrated fully with the front fiberglass cap and the rear fiberglass cap, giving that full balanced look. And it covers your air conditioners and Starlink and those things. I think it just gives it a finished look. I also love Newmar's rear fiberglass caps. They build in a spoiler in it, and if you're performance oriented like myself, you like cars with spoilers. So to build it on your motor coach is just awesome. Down the back of the fiberglass cap, you can see these stainless steel inserts and just the taillight design. This thing just looks killer from behind, and it's very Newmar-esque. The Onyx blackout package is so cool because they don't just put black wheels and tires on it. They do so many other little touches. We get a blackout grille, but if you also look at even the mirror caps are painted gloss black. The entry door handle is black. The Superstar and the Newmar logos on the side of the coach and on the fiberglass front cap is black. The stainless steel inserts are painted black, and even the mud flap is painted black. So I think you can rest assured that if they put that much attention into detail into the mud flap, that they've looked at every aspect of this coach for you. You can rest assured that when you spend 600 grand on a coach like this, that you're getting the best money can buy. Many of our Super C customers like to boondock, go off the grid. They don't like to live on an RV pad all the time. Like today, we're at the Bruno Sand Dunes today, and we don't have any RV hookups. So it's important that we have a lot of water on board. We have 150 gallons of fresh water on every Superstar model. We have 60 gallons of gray, 60 gallons of black. And I'll get into a little bit more why that's good later. We have hydronic heating by Oasis, and that doubles as your hot water system and your furnace. I'll talk about the furnace feature a little bit later. But the way that the water system works, if you're new to hydronic, is it uses a diesel or electric fired burner. So when we're boondocking, we use the diesel portion. If we're plugged in an RV park, we use the electric portion via shore power. But today, we would turn our diesel burner on, and it warms a liquid glycol solution via the diesel, and it's going to instantly heat up our hot water. More on that later. But this is a propane-less coach, so all electric, if you would. Moving to the water management system, this just shows off Newmar's attention to detail, and they try to make the not so fun portion of RVing, I don't want to go as far as to say fun, but definitely a lot more enjoyable. Just looking at the panel, it's really easy to read, it's very clean, and everything's well put together. We have a black tank wash built in, and then we have a simple switch here for going between tank fill, or if you want to run off of city water at the RV park. We have an inline fresh water filter. We have a rapid winterization kit, so it's really easy to winterize this coach. We have an exterior shower, hot and cold. And then just another nice feature is they go ahead and integrate a fresh water hose reel for you. So wrapping up the water system, just want to give you an example of like why all these things together are good. So 150 gallons of fresh water. If you've never been in an RV before, to give you perspective, that should be able to get at least 2 people. They can shower every night for about 7 to 8 days, being comfortable, not, not taking a camper van style shower. But this is something that when you own it, you want to be able to go out for the weekend and not have to worry about refilling or managing a water system. Go out and enjoy this thing. There's plenty of fresh water. There's 100 gallons of fuel on board, so you don't have to worry about your hydronic heating running out of diesel. When you come home from the weekend, from the racetrack, this thing is so easy to put away. Flip a couple switches, throw a sanitation pod in it, you're good to go. One of the limiting factors of owning a motor coach is the energy systems that are on board. Everybody is doing lithium now. It is available across many different brands and models. But lithium is a wide category, and not all are the same. The Superstar is available with up to 960 amp hours of lithium from Lithionics. This is a $30,000 option that we have on board here. This is a 640 amp hour system that's expandable to add. The reason we spend so much money on this is not just because of the big, great lithium battery system, but we also get 2 hybrid 3,000 watt inverters. Why we like the 2 versus just 1? One is going to split your loads up. It's going to be a more efficient charging system. It's going to run things more efficiently. But I think the biggest feature is that I can actually run one of my air conditioners in the front off of one inverter. So I don't have to run my generator to be able to run the air conditioning. And that would last you about 4 to 6 hours without having to recharge. The charging system that's built into this, there's a few different ways to charge. Number one, we have a 50 amp shore cord reel up at the front that has a power cord reel on it. We have a Cummins Onan 8 kilowatt generator. We also have a second alternator that's in the M2 112 chassis that charges not only the chassis batteries, but it also trickles over to the lithium system. Why I love that is because when I'm going down the road, I can cool the back of my coach cabin running that AC just solely on battery power, and my alternator is keeping up with it. So I don't have to run the generator to do so. Finally, solar panel systems. On this coach, we just got it, so we haven't put on our solar panels, but something at IWS we're doing on all Newmars is we're putting on our own solar panel system. So we're gonna put up to 600 watts of solar on top of this motor coach. And a final plug for IWS is that we wanna be able to give you a battery system that meets your specific needs. We spec a lot of our Superstars with this package because we feel like that's the most well-rounded system for everybody. But these systems are expandable. We can do more lithium, more solar. We feel like you have the best inverters out there, so no reason to really upgrade that, but we can make anything work for you and what your needs are. Really why we're spending so much time talking about the energy systems is because when you spend this much money, the last thing you want to do on your trip is worry about battery conservation or constantly running my generator and worrying about those levels. You can go to the racetrack this weekend, run your fridge all day, all night without having to charge. You can turn the generator on and it replaces the shore power. So if I do need to run the generator, I can run everything. My wife's hairdryer can be going while all my kids have their laptops and their iPads plugged in. I could be watching TV and be running both of my air conditioners on board. This thing is total relaxation zone. And depending on what you want to run and how conservative you want to be on battery is how long you'll go. But I can tell you that this system on board can run everything you need for a full 24 hours and be comfortable without having to start the generator or plug into shore power. We've talked a lot about the nitty-gritty details of the chassis, water systems, HVAC, how these things work, but why are you buying this in the first place? It's to go out and enjoy the outdoors, go tailgating with your friends, etc. So just some of the fun things that are on the outside of this coach are all of our Newmars get spec'd with a exterior entertainment center. A lot of coaches offer that, but there's just some cool things that Newmar does with the Superstar in particular. Number one, this compartment is adjustable. So depending on the glare that you have at your tailgate party, you can adjust this thing as needed. You can just simply lift up, get a full view. And some people ask, well, hey, doesn't this take away my exterior storage space? Well, if you put it in the sidewall, then you lose interior storage space. This is a perfect spot for your camp chairs when you're sitting down to be able to see it and have a great viewing angle. We also have a Bluetooth soundbar. So gosh, even if you're not watching TV, just playing the radio or listening to the game or streaming your Spotify off that, it's just a great solution for tailgating. So everybody's favorite section of the video is when I talk about doors on the motorhomes, because there's actually 4 of them on this Superstar, which is crazy. Starting with, of course, we have our cab doors. Comparing that to a Class A, there's 1 door usually on a Class A. So just from a safety standpoint, I don't like just having 1 exit door. But getting in and out of the coach is very easy with these 3 doors here. 2 in the cab, but this is a mid-entry floor plan, and most Newmars are mid-entry. Why that's important is because I'm just gonna use the tailgating reference, or if I'm at the racetrack again, I'm just gonna beat that to death. But when I have people over, this is a 1.5 bath floor plan. It's really easy for my guests to walk in and access the bathroom, get to the fridge, grab a beer, get to the kitchen, run things in and out. That's such a nice advantage of a mid-entry compared to a front entry where I have to go all the way into the coach, etc. Just little things. Some updates for 26 with the entry door entirely is we got a little bit bigger window. We have a nice wide door, and then we've changed our steps. So these are a different style step, but Newmar wants to make sure it's easy to get in and out of their coaches. So I'm gonna open this again. We have a nice entryway. So we have over 6 steps to get into the coach. We have an integrated grab handle here, a grab handle inside the coach, and then we have this really nice railing built into it. It just feels like you're walking into a very nice home, just these finishing touches within just the entry door. We have this locking keypad here. So I have a remote key fob that I can unlock my entry door and my cargo compartment doors. I can also set a code here so that I can throw my keys in and be able to lock the coach with the keys in it. This has a lighted grab handle built in too, so extra visibility at night with a porch light over the door. I think I beat that enough into the ground, but there's just a lot going on with all these doors. Finally, there's 1 more door at the back of this particular model. A lot of people wonder what this extra door is for, but this is just another exit point for your coach at the back of it. This is 41 feet long, so this just gives you another exit point. So if you're in the shower and somebody yells fire, you can simply jump out. But there's also a ladder that's built into here so you can easily get down. And look, it's easy to kind of joke about it, but most coaches just have a egress window in the bedroom that is just honestly pretty much impossible for anybody over 185 pounds to get out of. So this is a much nicer way to exit the coach. Pretty cool option. So today in Bruno, it's going to be well over 100 degrees and the sun's going to be on top of us here in a moment, which is a perfect example of why we have this great awning. This is a Girard awning and it goes almost the full length of the entire Superstar here, and it gives me a ton of coverage. It also has a really cool integrated LED light, which is great for nighttime, just giving me added visibility. And then it also has a motion sensor. It's fairly windy here right now, so it should come in here in a minute. But if the wind picks up, there we go, just like magic. It's going in automatically for us. So if I go fishing for the day or going to go UTV riding, I can leave my awning out. And if I forget about it, you can know that, hey, no worries, it's going to come right in for me. All right, before we check out the interior of this Superstar, I wanted to do just a shameless plug about IWS and one of the reasons you should feel comfortable buying your Superstar from us. We are at our location right now at one of our exclusive RV pads here, and this comes with our Advantage package. When you buy a Superstar from us, you're gonna get a host of things. Number one is that when you come to take delivery with us, you're gonna get a full experience. So a lot of our customers are often taking delivery and they're staying a night or two, and that gives you the opportunity to breathe, be able to be comfortable in the coach, operate everything, make sure nothing's broken, and just really feel like you've got a full experience. Most dealers just give you the keys, maybe give you an hour walkthrough with a shop technician. That's not how we operate. You're spending this much money. This is going to be an excellent experience for you. Second of all, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an iPad, and on this iPad we've got exclusive advantage videos on here that show you how to operate the systems on your motor coach. We also have our 24-hour cell phone number here. We pay people to be on rotation here so that you have a full access line to us 24/7, 365 days a year. With that as well, with our service department, you're going to get full exclusivity service treatment. So we don't work on anybody else's motorhomes, but our own customers. So even if you're off the road, you're in New York, you're in Florida, or you're in California, we're gonna prioritize you, get you serviced anywhere in the country. Most of our business is actually done out of state, so very common for us. Last thing, when you get an advantage package from us with this iPad, just one more plug, is that like this Newmar, we're gonna show you more about it, but you can actually have the Newmar app on here to be able to run the systems on your coach. All right, I think I've beat that into the ground, but let's go ahead and check out the Superstar inside. All right, we are inside the Superstar, and to start off the interior, we always like to show what it's like to live in it with the slides in. This coach has 3 slide outs in it. So we have our full wall slide here, we have our dinette slide here, and then one slide out in the bedroom. So when you have that many slide outs, things can tend to be tighter, cramped. But in the Newmar, I think they did an excellent job in designing it to still be comfortable, to use all the things that you need to. We still have plenty of room in the kitchen area here. I still have access to my fridge. You obviously have to just get a little creative on how you open the door, and the freezer, but all things are easy to do. And probably what's the most important, especially while traveling, is just making sure I have access to the bathroom. And that's obviously easy here. And this is a true door, so full swing, and I have access to my pantry. Just some of the things like when I stop at a gas station, I can make a sandwich, use the restroom, just making life on the go very easy. Now, right here, I know a lot of you may have dogs, or you're just trying to figure out how easy it is to get to the front of the cab. I would tell you there's about 8 inches here, and I'm able to still kind of walk through just like this. And I think that's important for you to see. So this is really the tightest space in the Superstar, but it is something that you can still sit right here if somebody was with you. I would recommend, if you do have somebody traveling with you, this would probably be the most comfortable spot. And I get a face forward. I can see out the windshield. So I think that wraps up everything we want to talk about with these slides in. Let's go ahead and pop these bad boys out. Okay, now that we have the slides open, just wanted to take a minute to soak in this interior and just talk about first impressions. This is an all new interior for 2026 model year. And this is really the Newmar experience. When you're looking at all the different brands out there, I think you got to put Newmar right up at the top when it comes to interior design and layout and feel. So one of the things I'll point out is if you look at the wood fascia here, this is a new design. I think they went with a more simplified look, which I think Super C customers really appreciate. The cabinetry, I think they knocked out of the park. We're now seeing a 2-tone interior package. This is the Summit white cabinets with the Sedona maple. These are suede finished. You can also get them with a high gloss finish. I believe I mentioned it earlier, but there's over 14 different cabinet configurations. And then we're also featuring the NOLA interior package. There's a couple different interior packages as well. But really, more than just like what the specific options are, the fit and finish is excellent in a Newmar. Everything feels tight. It doesn't feel like when I pull out my drawers, you know, they don't shake and rattle. You don't feel like this thing's just gonna come apart on you. The countertops are super thick. Everything is covered from top to bottom. If we look at like the air conditioning covers, Everything is detailed and well thought of. And that again is just a part of the Newmar design experience that you just don't get with any other manufacturer. So as a reminder, we are looking at the 4159 floor plan for the Superstar, which is a bath and a half model. There is over 7 different floor plans you can choose from in the Superstar. We're just happening to be in the 4159. We really like this floor plan. Whenever you decide to go 40 feet, we like the bath and a half in this particular layout. You can also get a central mid-bath location with like a rear wardrobe setup. We think that this coach, we designed it for, if you're gonna go 40 feet, we know that you probably want more storage, you want more power, hence the M2 112 chassis. And we think that usually you might be a person that would appreciate having a second, this half bathroom, I should say. But more than that, the way that we configured this and how you'll see us configure a lot of Superstars is on this side, we like to do a theater seat configuration. This is standard with a hide-to-bed sofa if you wanted the extra sleeping, but I can tell you that these theater seats are our most comfortable seating arrangement in a Superstar, and just really our most popular option, if I'm being honest. These are powered, and they've upgraded the furniture, and I'll just go ahead and take a seat here as well. They're also powered, but just another refinement piece. Most manufacturers would either just leave this as a leather piece or put a piece of plastic here. They went ahead and matched the countertop right into here. And then when you look at the little nightstands and some of the little pieces, they've matched this countertop everywhere. So just the little touches that make this feel even nicer. In whatever Newmar you choose, you're going to always have some sort of opposing seating or some sort of dinette setup. This particular floor plan, we spec'd with a sleeper booth dinette. So this will actually go down into a bed, and it's really good for 2 people to be able to sit at, and you could squeeze 4 people in just fine. It's a little bit tighter. They went a little bit narrower so that when the slide is in, it's a lot easier to get through. Previous generations, there was just barely any room to get through. So I like that little update here. We're also going to show you the televator that comes up right past this window. So you get a 50+ inch TV that's a perfect viewing angle across from your theater seats. Another exclusive Newmar feature is the full wall slide out. And no matter which of the 7 floor plans you choose in Superstar, you are going to get this massive full wall slide. And when I mean a full wall, I mean it's literally the entire wall is a slide out. And a lot of people don't actually notice that until they see a Newmar in person. What does that really get you? Well, a couple things. Number one, I get way more entryway space here, and that's how we're able to put our fridge here. Most manufacturers have to put the fridge a little bit closer because the doors can't swing out. That also gives us a much larger kitchen area. I think hands down, Newmar has the largest kitchen space out of all the manufacturers we see out there. They also do a deeper kitchen. Most people just do a fairly narrow countertop. This is one of the largest areas. The full wall slide, just going back to it really quick, this is a flush slide. So it'll actually raise and come in, and when it comes back out, it sets down. So many slide outs out there, you'll see you actually have to step up into the slide when you go to sit down at your dinette or what have you, but these are perfectly flush. Another really cool upgrade for 2026 model is they've went from what you would just call a traditional carpet. They went with this vinyl material that is a lot more durable. And a lot of you pet lovers that are bringing your cats and dogs with you, this is so much nicer for your pets that are coming with you and easier to clean, hands down. We love this upgrade for 26. No matter which floor plan of Superstar that you choose, you're gonna get a great sized kitchen, and you're gonna get all the same type of appliances. So even though we're in the 4159, just know your kitchen's gonna be the same. So I think I'll start with appliances, and the induction cooktop. These are a 2-burner true induction, and the countertop pieces all have an integrated cutting board into them, which is a really nice touch. There we go, another one. Why induction is so good and why people are moving to this is it works through magnetism. So once you set a induction rated pan on here, it'll start instantly heating. And when you take the pan off, it'll cool down instantly and you should be able to set your hand on there within a matter of seconds. It's so neat, actually. I've seen people that actually lay wax paper here and they can cook things on it like bacon. And then when the grease splatters, you just wrap up the the wax paper and throw it away. So cool technology here. Newmar is also thinking outside the box. They've made this removable. So if I want to set up a camp outside, I can go ahead and take this out there, plug it into the 110 outlets out there. New for 26 is the Whirlpool convection microwave oven combination. It also has an air fry feature, which I don't know about you, but I use an air fryer almost every day now. When I open this up, you'll see some of the air fry baskets, but now we just have more options for cooking, and it has a really nice seamless design to it that I think matches the Newmar interior very well. A carryover for 26 is the Whirlpool 19.7 cubic foot refrigerator freezer combo. We love this fridge, very efficient, and I think just from a usability and size standpoint, it works for everybody. It's deeper than you think. Has an integrated water filter, adjustable shelves, has vegetable and fruit drawers here. And then we have a water station here. And we have ice tray, or an ice station, I should say. And then 2 drawers here that are pretty deep for freezing. This has been an excellent fridge for us, and they're just gonna keep using it. Wrapping up the kitchen, just some final layout touches. We like that Newmar's integrated a window here into the kitchen, and we have a really nice tiled backsplash here. You can't see them, which I think is nice, is we have 2 110 outlets underneath there in combination with the lights. This is a vented window, so I can get some morning air when I'm cooking breakfast in the morning. We love the sink. It's a stainless steel sink, and it's very large, being able to put enough dishes in here. Most manufacturers skip on doing a nice big sink. All of our kitchen layouts are going to have some sort of fold-up countertop piece like this. And then looking at the silverware configurations, the drawers are in an excellent location where they make sense. We have a little drawer that tips out right here. I think it's important when you're pulling on the cabinets, when you're looking at motorhomes, that it feels good when you do so. This is a nice deep drawer. This is also where the area, if you wanted to spec like a dishwasher or something, you could do that here. We tend not to do that until we go to like 45 foot, but that is an option on Superstar. But nice big drawers, soft close, great feel to it. I think you're just gonna love the kitchen area. Every kitchen needs a great pantry, and most all Superstars are going to feature a pantry similar to this one. And for 26, we have a nicer configuration with little pop-out, slide-out drawers. And these are adjustable to your needs. So if you want to take one out or move them up or down, but this gives you so much integrated storage here for canned goods or bag of chips, things of that nature. And you could put things way up high if you need to. Love the pantry in the Newmars. Newmar emphasizes having a large bedroom in all of their floor plans. This floor plan, we have a true king size bed. So 72 by 80 king bed with a nice memory foam mattress that also lifts up. So we have integrated storage underneath of the coach, or underneath the bed, I should say. What we like about the bedroom area in particular is we have a nice padded headboard. We have windows here with shades, and these are vented so you can open up and if you want some fresh air. And where I'm standing, it's hard to see, but there is a multiplex panel there and light controls. There's also integrated storage above your head. And there's a 110 outlet in here, and there is a pop out right here. So if you have like a CPAP machine, or if you want to run something that's plugged in and run a charge cable through there, you can. Cabinets are closed. We also have nightstands that have integrated 110 outlets and USB and USB-C ports here for charging here. We also have storage here, which is perfect for your pistol or anything that you need to have handy at your nightstand. The wardrobe area in all Superstars is the same, no matter which floor plan. Starting with the, what you would call his and hers wardrobe style. Here we have hanging storage. We have 110 outlets inside. We also have integrated lights. We have drawers underneath for, socks and underwear, shoes, things like that. I think maybe the best feature is right below your television here. We have a countertop, and this is a perfect spot to throw your hat, your keys, your wallets, your belt. At the end of a long day, just nice to throw those things right here. We also have a nice window here for just more ventilation and lighting. We'll also have an audio video cabinet in there with a 110 outlet and HDMI cable if you want to plug in a Roku or Apple TV device. And we'll talk about internet and stuff a little bit later, but entertainment systems can go right down there. Newmar's updated their half bath here in the middle of the coach. They've turned the toilet to a different direction to be able to accommodate a little bit better leg room. And it's a tight area for sure, but Newmar's done an excellent job of just making every inch count in here for storage. So, you have just integrated shelving, medicine cabinet, towel holder, window inside of it, overhead cabinets, 110 outlet, just so many things here that I think it'd be easier to just throw a sink in here, throw a toilet and toilet paper holder, but they've done a nice job in this area, making it usable, comfortable, and also, practical. All right, we're in the master bathroom area, and this is really the star of the show for this floor plan. Lots going on in here, but it's probably a room you'll spend a lot of time in, but it is a large area. I love the toilet area. It has so much leg room. It feels very comfortable. And this is also where your washer and dryer in here. And this is a stacked washer and dryer system that actually work. And something we had Newmar do is they vent the dryer to the outside. So that way you don't have to worry about mildew, or these dryers actually work. I can tell you that for sure. We also have extra closet space in here. We ordered this one with an integrated safe to be able to put, again, just maybe some more pistols, some jewelry, just some private things that you need to have safe and locked away. We have lots of drawer space, again, just maximizing the amount of storage that you have in here. I love the vanity because, if you use electric toothbrushes, there's 2 of them here to be able to have both of them charging at the same time, or run a hair dryer. We have an integrated medicine cabinet inside here, more storage under here, big sink. And it's a porcelain sink, so it feels very premium. And then moving on to the shower, this is a very large shower. This is a 40 by 30 shower, and I'll just kind of show it to you here. A new shower head design, so where it has a standard just design where this will just come out of the top. But if you wanted to be able to have a removable handle here, you can use that as well. Something that comes standard on the Superstar is the Aquamizer hot water system, and I think it's a must-have. So I mentioned we have the Oasis hydronic heating with on-demand water, but it still takes about 10 seconds from startup to be able to get that water heated up. Well, with the Aquamizer, you flip a switch, and that's going to circulate that water in a small tank behind the shower that heats it up. And so it's going to save that just a little bit of water while you're waiting for the shower to get hot. And it's a very short amount of time to wait. But if you think about 7 or 8 days of being out on the road, I don't know the exact numbers of how much water you're wasting, just waiting for it to get warm. That can be a significant amount. So the Aquamizer is integrated standard, and I absolutely love this feature. So in 2026, it's really important for you to know how you can stay connected and all the technology features that come on the Superstar. I think the biggest thing to point out is the all new screen here. We call this a multiplex system. And Newmar has started doing this internally. So this is their own technology. They actually have a Newmar app now that you can get on our iPad that we give to you, and we'll have it pre-downloaded, or get it on your phone to be able to run the systems on your motor coach. Without boring you and telling you all the ins and outs of how this operates, I'm just going to tell you like what it really does. And it controls everything you need to do on this coach, and manage all your batteries, your lights, your auto generator start features, your floor heat. This is where you run all your HVAC controls, setting up your Oasis, and choosing diesel or electric heat. So lots of things that you can control at this station. And don't worry, this isn't the only pad. This is the main control station, but throughout the entire coach, in your bathrooms, in your bedroom, at the dinette, what have you, there's smaller versions of these panels here that do specific things in those areas. So really, really well thought out, well-designed system from Newmar, and we love all the new technology updates built into this. Last part on the inside is just talking about entertainment and connectivity. Starting with the televisions. Again, at this price point, you would expect some of the best. So we have, 4K smart TVs, Samsung brands or Sony brands, depending on the configuration, but nice soundbar systems. We have the televator here. I thought this was a good spot to set up camp. But I want to talk about internet. You can order these coaches with a Starlink high performance mount, and this coach we left it off because we're going to do our own Starlink setup here, and we have just lots of configurations that you can do with internet. We think Starlink is the best option for you going out on the road, and Starlink is going to be put on this coach. We just haven't gotten to it quite yet because it is so new, but those of you that want to stay connected, I can tell you that you can do that in a Superstar. For years, you've only had satellite TV option, or you've had some sort of cellular internet. That's no more. Like, this coach doesn't even have a satellite TV antenna on it because everybody's just moving to streaming. We can put a satellite traditional dish on if you need to, but Starlink is really just the way to go anymore. I think that's going to do it for us on the interior. So we're going to go ahead and pull the slides in, hop in the cab, show you all the features of the cab, and then we're going to go ahead and take this thing for a drive. Okay, we're sitting in the M2112 cab, and I just want to show you all the new button controls, the new layout, some of the infotainment updates, and what this thing's all about. So let's go ahead and get into all the details. So probably one of the most important updates that they did on the Plus chassis is they've upgraded the steering wheel quite a bit with adding these steering wheel controls. And I can control my menus. I can control my cruise control up from here. And we'll get into it later, but the digital screen, a lot of my controls are out at my fingertips. Prior generations, you had to reach all over into the middle of the dash to be able to access those things. So driving is much more comfortable with these steering wheel's controls. A big improvement is in the actual gauge cluster, and we have an integrated screen now, which I really like because it gives me so much more information and settings that I actually want to know. And I'm just scrolling through them as we talk, but this is where I can adjust some of my driving assistance features, tire pressure monitoring built in. This is just so much more advanced than the previous generations. And they did a good job of having a digital layout mixed in with, the traditional analog style tachometer and speedometer, just things that truck people like. And I think they knocked it out of the park with balancing tech versus old school. Some other improvements is just the overall look of the entire dash and some of these bezels. And I like this wood feature here. It looks a lot more modern than the outgoing generation was. And then the buttons are a lot easier to read, a lot nicer. There's more options in here as well. Being able to turn off your lane departure when you want to. And then differential lock is right here. I forgot to mention this truck does have a locking differential, which is a really, really nice option to have. Suspension dump valves, traction control, docking light controls, all at the touch of your fingertips. We've also got some extra charging outlets integrated with USB and a 12 volt. And then getting in the infotainment screen, we have one here too. Maybe the best part of this M2112 chassis is this infotainment screen. Now this is from Newmar directly. This isn't a Freightliner, but you would not be able to tell. This looks completely OEM. The main reason I like it is because of its size, but it has two different screens. So as I'm cycling through my radio, my navigation, and my Bluetooth, and whatever else that I need to access here, I am constantly having my camera system up here on the right-hand side. So I'm in downtown traffic. I don't have to worry about when I turn my blinker on to see my side view cameras, my navigation will still keep going, all centrally located. This is a huge, huge upgrade. I also find it really easy to operate, and it has built-in navigation as well. Lastly, I think the biggest feature is the 360-degree camera system. This is just an absolute game changer for a motorhome, and we just wouldn't order a Superstar without this. But I have so many different camera views, and when I'm trying to back up into a spot, I can tell you that having these grid lines for the backup camera tell me how far away I am, but the top down really helps me know just left or right if I'm straight or not. So if I'm by myself, all these different camera views are great. And then I also love having the front camera view. Constantly, if you're like pulling up into a garage or into a wall, you don't know how far in front of you are. Especially this is a longer hood and the bumper sticks out. So having that camera is an absolute game changer. A big upgrade for 26 is these seats, the driver and the passenger seats now swivel. So when the slides are out, I can swivel these around and be able to add more seating when I need it. We also have pneumatic lumbar support, and we have air ride seat on top of the air ride cab, but just tons of adjustment to make this seat more comfortable. Armrest controls, all these things that are air driven, makes it a very, very comfortable seat. This is a factory M2112 seat that is recovered to match the interior, and I really like the feel of these seats. Okay, enough talking about this thing. Let's actually go drive it. All right, first impressions of the new Superstar in the M2112 Plus chassis. Before we talk about power, I think just my initial driving impressions going on the highway here. All the things we love about Super C are true with this. I have great visibility with not only my seating position, how high up I'm sitting on my air ride seat, mind you, but I love my visibility here, and I see higher than everybody else. With this M2112 hood, I was making the comment to Tim the other day, driving this, that I do like the longer nose hood. For those of you that like drive muscle cars or anything, there's something nice about having a big hood, big engine in front of you. I guess it just feels cool, but also I think it does help me track going down the road, keeps me straight. So obviously the biggest change is the power, right? We have the L9 that's boosted up a little bit to the 450 horsepower over the 360, right? And I think you can tell that as soon as you get in the coach. I put my foot in this and I just instantly feel the power. And this is really the sweet spot of where we've been wanting this coach to be at, is at this 450 horsepower range. We knew it was possible. So to finally have it at our disposal is just excellent. And I can't wait for you guys to come out and experience this chassis. Again, this spec, this Superstar, I think is for those of you that are wanting to tow that trailer. You might not have a stacker, but you want to tow your F-150 or your Jeep or your Bronco behind you. Occasionally you have a car hauler, but you just want something that's easy to live with, that's got enough juice, right? The last thing I want to do is sell you something and you go, man, like this thing's a dog and I can't get up these hills. This coach can handle any hill that you throw at it. Like we're calling out a Bruno right now. I got my foot to the floor and we're gaining speed right now. I am just 100% satisfied with the power, and again, it's just something that you're going to have zero regrets with. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. We're just about to pull into our last spot here, and I hope you found this video informative. We really appreciate you watching it and sticking through it with us to the end. We have a lot more content coming out pretty soon here with more Newmar models. We thought we'd start it off with the Superstar because of how much we love it. But please like and subscribe, leave a comment for us. We really enjoy those. And with that, we hope to see you out on the road.